Good evening. Welcome to the DBS News World Saturday edition. We're streaming on the web. You can also download the DBS St. Lucia app on the App Store and on the Google Play Store. HD News in the palm of your hand. The police are appealing for anyone with information on the island's latest homicide to come forward. On Thursday, January 18th, about 10:40 p.m., the Marsha Police Station in Castries received a report of a shooting at the intersection of Marsha and Chaussee Roads in Castries. The police officers responded to the report and commenced investigations. Jakeem Duncan, a 21-year-old resident of Bagatelle, Castries, was conveyed to the Owen King European Hospital, or OKE Hospital, by emergency medical technicians from the St. Lucia Fire and Emergency Services for medical attention. He sustained multiple injuries and later passed away. A medical practitioner at the OKEU confirmed his death. Now a resident of the community where the latest homicide occurred is voicing his concerns about the gun violence that continues to claim young lives across the island. Here's Ian Romulus with that story.
A resident of the Marsha community says he is overwhelmed by the number of shootings taking place in his community. Even more so with the fatal shooting which took place on Thursday, January 19th. 21-year-old Jakeem Duncan of Bagatelle, Castries has been identified as the victim.
I cannot take you to what happened. I said that I was inside my place, and the guy who was living with me was outside. And as he came in, it was a hell break loose right in front of her last night.
How many gunshots did you hear?
How many gunshots? It was a semi-automatic weapon. So it wasn't pow, pow, pow. It was constant. So it was about a whole cartridge of shots ring there last night. Whole cartridge. Over 40 shots, over 40 shots ring there last night.
According to the Marsha resident, the community has become like a Wild West movie, with constant gunfire, leaving him and other residents in fear. The gun violence has been taking a toll, affecting the quality of everyday life, he says.
But it's not something that I feel comfortable being up front and those guys are doing those things. Anytime those guys run here with guns, I go to the back. I go to the back straight. And those guys are very lawless. Lawless to the people that do those type of things. Yes, it's not safe for the area. It's not even safe crossing the road. It's not even safe, like night time, to say I would just hang around there and just watch people go by. It's not even safe anymore. Guys running here broad daylight with guns in their hands, without masks, without everything, and they are shooting people, shooting behind people left, right, and center. Nobody don't see nothing. Nothing. People don't respect people for life in St. Lucia anymore.
Thursday's fatal shooting is the island's 6th homicide for this month. While offering condolences to the family of the homicide victim, Prime Minister and Minister for National Security Philippe J. Pierre said that more will need to be done by the police to address the issue.
My deepest condolences. Another act of wanton murder, which is one too many. But that seems to be something happening, and there's no excuse. There's no excuse, absolutely no excuse for that. In our neighboring islands, all Prime Minister of Trinidad has put, now, look, there's no excuse for that. I'm making no excuses. The Prime Minister of Trinidad has ordered the army on the streets. The Prime Minister of Jamaica has done the same thing, apart from the colonialization that he has. In the Bahamas, there have been 16 murders. So something sad is happening in terms of this gang warfare. Very, very sad. And nothing we should applaud or nothing we should try to make political mileage on. It's very, very sad when you can target a 21-year-old and shoot him in the way they shoot him. Very sad. Very, very sad. The police, they have to find a way so that we can get these guns off the streets. Very, very sad. Can't condone it, but the fact is, our young people have got involved with this gang. Some of our young people in this gang warfare, which is creating some issues for us.
With the current homicide rate, the Prime Minister was questioned whether it was time for a change in the strategy to address the problem. While he did not specifically respond to the question, he did mention that additional resources would be provided to the police.
You don't like me to say that. You don't like me to say that. Let me say it again. crime fighting strategies are in the domain of the police. They are the ones who have what we will do next week. I'm going to give them some more vehicles. Week after, month after, you're going to have some more recruits. Then soon from that, they're going to be getting some more protective gear. You understand? That's my job. My job is to give them the resources and discuss how they are going to help combat crime. I'm in no position to opine on crime as it relates to operational aspects. Next week, the SSDF, they are going to launch a program where there's going to be the dialogue and economic activity for young people who have had issues with the law.
At a press conference held in the first week of January, the Deputy Commissioner, Wayne Shalry, disclosed that the police will be placing most of its focus this year on tackling gang activity. Police stats from 2023 show that 52% of the killings were linked to gangs. Furthermore, more than 75% of the murders had been committed using illegal guns. For the DBS News World, I am Zain Bromulus.
In more law enforcement news, police have recovered a number of guns and ammunition following a successful joint operation among various departments of the RSLPF. On Friday, January 19th, about 1 a.m., officers conducted the joint operation within the Northern and Central Divisions. Police officers attached to the Criminal Investigations Department, or CID, in Castries, Grosley Patrol Team, Grosley CID, Special Patrol Team, Bicycle Patrol Unit, and Traffic Enforcement Team. The ongoing operations are designed to tackle and mitigate a range of crime-related and public safety concerns on the island. During the operation, 7 search warrants were executed and a total of 4 individuals were apprehended. A house in Jackmel, quarter of Anstey, was searched, resulting in the discovery and seizure of 1 9mm pistol and 8 rounds of 9mm ammunition. 2 individuals were arrested for the offence of possession of a firearm and possession of ammunition. At a house in Carity, in Castries, that was searched, resulting in the discovery and seizure of 1 Glock 9mm pistol and 17 rounds of 9mm ammunition. This individual was arrested for the offences of possession of firearm and possession of ammunition. Further on, a house in Beausejour in Grosley was searched, resulting in the discovery and seizure of a quantity of cannabis resin. 1 individual was arrested for the offences of possession of controlled drug and possession with intent to supply to another. He was also arrested on a commitment warrant for failing to comply with a court order after he was convicted for possession of firearms in the year 2021. The 50th anniversary celebrations of the Castries Comprehensive Secondary School, or CCSS, which began last year, are continuing into 2024. The next activity will be a walkathon on Sunday, January 28th. The event aims to promote health and fitness while raising funds for the school's development projects.
We've mobilized our troops on the ground, and our alumni are excited to come on board. The kickoff is on Sunday, January 28th, leaving from CCSS, going to VG, doing 2 rounds, and getting back to CCSS. Shirts are available and registration will be available on the school grounds Monday to Friday from about 10 till 4. On Saturdays, we are at the school with the shirts as well for registration and selling. You can see Ursha or you can see Miss Ronell. And the next 2 Saturdays, we will be on the boulevard selling the shirts and registration from about 10 till 2.
This year, more activities are planned, including a red and white ball at the Sanders Golf Club in April. The ball, which promises to be a grand affair, will feature good music and delicious food and drinks as well.
We are starting with the most famous of all in terms of the alumni being fully involved. Roll call will be the Saturday before Easter Sunday. But we will be having activities at the school. We have Career Day the last week in March. We have a history and cultural brain bowl for CCSS students in that same week. We will be having our board meeting, a general meeting rather, for alumni to be present, to know where we've come from, where we are, and where we would like to go, and discuss all the financials that we have been we've been involved with in this last year. We also have a red and white ball. We've received 1 million calls about that. Everybody's ready to pay and ready to go. And we have the alumni cruise. We have a karaoke night. We have a game night. There's quite a bit of things happening. And we've heard from our diaspora. We're excited. A lot of them are coming down. Life is short. If nothing, COVID has taught us that we have to celebrate what we have.
The CCSS Global Alumni Association is calling on all past students, family, and just the friends of CCSS to participate and to make the event a success. You're watching the DBS News World. We have more news coming up. Stay tuned.
Selling out the O2 Arena in London.
St. Lucia, are you ready?
Selling out the Forum in Hollywood.
The moment you've been waiting for is finally here.
Now, first Nigerian artist to ever sell out Madison Square Garden.
You've seen this electrifying performance light up your social media feeds. You watched him dominate the world stage. He's not just an artist, he's a global phenomenon. His music resonates across continents. An award-winning legend. He's a movement, and now he's coming to St. Lucia, the African giant himself, Burna Boy. Burna Boy, live in concert. Mark your calendars, May 3rd, 2024, Burna Boy. Let's be a part of history together. Presented by Utopia Cruise and Festivals, Blazing 99.3, Rhythm 95.5, and O2 Incorporated. Burna Boy, live in concert, May 3rd, 2024. Tested by the world, approved by the masses, trusted to deliver an experience like no other.
You know that feeling when you have an uncontrollable desire for fried chicken? That's the KFC. A substance that stimulates your senses to identify the aroma of a secret recipe or an extra crispy crunch from any distance. It's invisible to the naked eye, but you can feel it traveling throughout your body, taking control. Oh, so you can enjoy a juicy bite of KFC. Ignite your senses with KFC.
If your whites are whiter and brighter, if your clothes isn't feeling soft and smelling fresh and scented all day, if your dishwashing liquid doesn't smell like lemon, protects your hands with vitamin E, and gets rid of that stubborn grease,
Just give them licks.
just now. So that old smell, stain, grease mark, and dust still on your floor?
Power, licks for them.
If your toilet still has those stains and dirt marks? So the color's fading and the stains still in your clothes, huh?
Licks.
Your product's giving you licks?
And just licks from Today Distribution Inc.
Now available hand sanitizer.
Also available at all leading supermarkets. Make back to school shopping easy at Hobby. Step into the new school year with confidence and style. Discover the perfect back to school shoes at Hobby, from sleek high tops to trendy low top sneakers in black and white. One thing's for sure, we've got the footwear that matches your academic adventures. Our collection blends comfort, durability, and the latest trends to keep you stepping ahead. Don't miss out on the opportunity to rock the hallways with Hobby's fantastic shoe selection. Visit us today and put your best foot forward this upcoming school season. Make back to school shopping your hobby with Hobby.
The father of one of the island's more recent homicide victims is hopeful that others can draw a lesson from his son's untimely demise. The 27-year-old resident of Notre Dame Street in Gros-Islet was gunned down on Monday afternoon on Dauphin Street in Gros-Islet town. Zane Romulus has their story.
The police have identified the island's fourth homicide victim as 27-year-old Canis Felicia, a resident of the town of Gros-Islet. Another male individual shot Felicia on the afternoon of Monday, January 15th in the town along Dauphin Street. A sad end to a life that could have gone differently, says his father and namesake Canis Philip. According to him, he tried to steer his son in the right direction. However, he failed to heed the advice and warnings of his father and chose the life of the streets.
From the moment he started going in the ghetto with the friends, I see what's going on. I tried living with him all the time. I imagine that one time I had to go to the judge to ask him if he can go counseling, do something, and he never take what I say to him, but he'll keep. I see that road he take, it was a wrong road. I tried to pray to him, I tried to tell him, and all the friends I see been there, it's either the cemetery or the hospital or jail. And he don't want to listen, I don't know. He just doesn't want to listen. But what happened to him now is very sad. I feel very sad about what happened.
Philip says he is heartbroken over his son's death despite his troubled ways.
I'm not feeling good, honestly. No. Especially my wife is mashed up.
As the owner of a popular riding stable in the north of the island, Philip shared that he had taught his son the ins and outs of the business with the hope of passing it on to him someday.
I miss him, and when you see him, you see me. So to me, a banana tree will make a banana. So I would watch him all the time and say, tomorrow I just pray God that he would be a take over. You see what I have for him. And so I build a thing where he would follow my footsteps, but he didn't take it. So yeah, but and you see my son, you see my father. The picture of my father. Sometimes I talk to my father and say, my daddy, look your twin. And he'll be laughing, you know. So I don't know where he take that set from, I don't know. So we don't raise like that. Like you say, you can bring the cow by the water, you cannot make it drink.
The father is hopeful the perpetrator will be apprehended soon.
Well, he had a fight with a young guy, but I from Gros-Islet, I know he had a fight with a young guy, and the guy thought he would have beat him, he beat up the guy, and I feel I'll give the guy a little cut. So I feel like now the guy retaliate and shoot him because he beat the guy. And that's what they called me and told me who shot him. The moment I went in the scene, next minute they called me and tell me he shot the guy shot him because of he beat the guy last week. So that's what happened. So he know himself and he know, I know it's him. He know that.
While he cannot change the current circumstances, Philip has shared these words of advice in hopes that someone would learn from his experience.
Please, I'm begging, if we can have our father who make a preparation for us, please try to stay by him and do good. That life is not, we're not reaching anywhere. I'm calling to the whole of St. Lucia. They could hear that little message, think twice, because there is no way when you lose your son, you can come back.
For the DBS News World, I am Zane Romulus.
Meanwhile, residents of Gros-Islet town have made a plea for violence to be brought under control. This follows the homicide which occurred in a part of the town frequented by citizens and visitors alike. Once again, here is Zane Romulus.
Gros-Islet residents have expressed strong opinions about the impact of crime on the island, with the latest homicide taking place in the touristic town. This resident, who chose to not be identified, says it is not a good look for the country, whose economy depends heavily on tourism.
As I said, you can't be proud about that, because everything, the whole world knows about us now. We was one of the calmest countries in the world at a point, but now we compare with Jamaica and Trinidad and them places. Yeah. You can't be happy as a celebration about that. But even now, yesterday, 3 fellas coming from overseas, but I just live next door there. 3 fellas coming from overseas, and they know what's happening before me. So you could imagine. So it's traveling.
St. Lucia has for the past 5 years recorded high homicide figures, with 75 recorded last year. Only 15 days into the year, the 4th murder was recorded. A worrying sign, says resident and UWP chairman Ferrell Prudent. He expressed the need to quickly bring the situation under control.
It just says that if so early in the year we are already at 4 murders here in this country, then we don't know what the future holds for our country. the government and also the Prime Minister must do better. The Prime Minister, especially the Minister of Mobilization, the Minister of Security, National Security, he must do better. He cannot keep telling us that it is his father who was the police and that he is not it's not incumbent upon him to be able to come up with directives and ideas for how we are going to manage the crime situation in this country. We will never solve crime. No country can solve crime, but at least one can come to a point where you can manage the number of murders per year. And so hopefully, we can do better. And like I said, for the young people, I know we cast a lot of blame on our young people here in this country, but we also have to ask ourselves, what have we done in this country to be able to give young people an alternative and to give them hope so that they can move away from a life of crime into a life of productivity.
Another resident believes that more deterrent measures should be employed to discourage these criminal acts.
We cannot afford to go through the new year with all that about death rates and something. I said it to Auntie Emma, I believe personally the bail rate needs to be changed. Because when you tell me, let's assume that it's about 10 or 15,000, right? Right? You still have people in society bailing those individuals when they kill somebody. I am saying right now, we need to put some bigger penalties. In other words, a property, right? Once they find you guilty, you lose it. You lose it completely, because those criminals who are bailing those guys, when the guys they call them and say, hey, I'm in problem, they come and bail me, they put money down. But if you put your property, right, those people that supporting them, and you put their property, and then you say, let's say you have a property probably worth $100,000 or $150,000 and something, your house and land, right? And tomorrow that person found guilty, they lose it. I think we will have less of those type of acts in this country. And I think they need to do that because every time we have this problem, last year we had a type of death rate, and if you watch, it's all about stabbing, shooting, and so on. And then people, and you see tomorrow, those people on the street back, and then I stab you, somebody come and bail me. I'm back on the road.
Prime Minister Philip J.P. at Monday's pre-cabinet presser expressed concern over the rising number of homicides. He has pledged to implement more robust measures in 2024 to confront this pressing issue head-on. For the DBS News World, I am Zin Romulus.
In more crime news, a French-Canadian citizen was shot dead while walking along the Bonne Terre Road on Tuesday afternoon, leaving residents in the area in shock over the disturbing incident. Zin Romulus has that story.
Eric Hines, a French-Canadian citizen, is St. Lucia's fifth homicide. A resident of Bonne Terre Groselet for more than 2 decades, he was shot while walking along a stretch of road which he normally traverses on his daily commute. His killing, which took place in broad daylight, has sent shockwaves throughout the peaceful community. A neighbor describes him as a man who lived in relative isolation.
We befriended each other some years ago, and he's always on his own, keeps his own to himself. Based on the reports I heard about the shots, the number of shots he given, it's probably a revenge or a targeted shooting. I don't know. Or I don't know if it's a robbery gone bad. Now that corner there is a very deserted corner, especially at night, right? Because I walk, and from the time it's 7 p.m., there is no street light there. And it's very, very scary passing that corner, and it so happens that that's the same corner where they shot him.
Another resident, Dennis Louisi, said the fatal shooting has left him in fear.
I'm not happy at all. I'm happy because I live down the road there, and this happened there. By the God's grace, God will help us.
It's a quiet neighborhood?
Quiet neighborhood, very quiet. Never have no noise, no fight, nothing at all.
While the incident is alarming to residents, it shows that crime has no boundaries, says Peter Alexander, another resident. He underscored the need for the nation as a whole to unite in addressing the problem.
Some of us, we feel that we are safe, whether we live Cap Estate, Bonne Terre, or what we perceive as safe areas. But that is not so. Okay? Crime will come to everybody's doorstep one day. So I've always said that people see things. The police have now established a hotline 555 right? They don't want your name, they don't want your address, you have information, all you got to do is pick up the phone and call. I think they even have an app as well. So please use that. If we catch the criminals, as soon as that happens, you will see a reduction in the crime rate. Sometimes the crime, we cannot stop it, but at least the next best thing is to limit it. And the only way you can limit it is that the criminals are to be caught within a short space of time.
Even more alarming is that the country is recording its 5th homicide just 16 days into the new year. Alexander called for a deeper look into the cause of these homicides and for targeted measures to reverse an already spiraling homicide rate.
I'm not blaming any government. All I'm saying is that there are things that we should have done a long time ago, which we haven't done as a country. And a lot of it has to do with our social programs, how people are socialized, and what we are willing to tolerate as a community, as a country. So until we decide that we have had enough of this in our midst, and until we decide that we're going to do what it takes to help solve the problem, it will continue.
The Royal St. Lucia Police Force has launched an investigation and is encouraging anyone who may have information critical to the case to contact the department or the nearest police station. Alternatively, anonymous reporting can be done using the crime hotline at 555 or the RSLPF's crime hotline app. For the DBS News World, I am Zane Romulus.
You're watching St. Lucia's television and news leader. Still to come, the Prime Minister reassures the citizens of government's commitment to tackling crime head-on. And the NCOPT, the National Council on Public Transportation, is moving to address a number of commuters' concerns and woes.
In 1985, one man walked around a track for 24 hours to raise money for cancer in the United States. Single-handedly, he raised $27,000. Out of this concept, Relay for Life was formally created by the American Cancer Society. Now, this signature event is being brought to you by the St. Lucia Cancer Society, making us only the 3rd Caribbean country to stage Relay for Life. It's a community event that brings us all together to celebrate the survivors and their caregivers, remember our loved ones lost to cancer, and to fight back. Our friends, families, colleagues will form teams who will rally together for 6 hours, walking or running to symbolize our part in the fight. So, rally up your teams and come be a part of this historic event happening on World Cancer Day, February 4, 2024, at the Vichy Playing Field from 2 to 8 p.m. Come for the education, come for the unity, come prepared to fight. Contact the St. Lucia Cancer Society at 452-1538 for registration and more information.
When I was ready to build a home, I decided to shop around before commencement. I found Bryson Company to be very reliable, affordable, and business friendly. There was never a time when I would order something through Bryson Company Limited that I would not get exactly what I need on time. They will always just keep you on the right track, and probably if you have too many orders, they would let you know that this is too much and this is what you need, because they would do an assessment themselves. If you are in the process of building or thinking of building, you should check out Bryson Company first.
The price is always right and you can't go wrong. Because if it's meats you crave, La Place Salaison has it. Need turkey, oxtail, or trottas? La Place Salaison. Feeling for lamb, goat, chicken burgers, or tenders? La Place Salaison. A variety of meats just for you to choose from, including bacon, cheese, pepperoni, ham, eggs, and more for breakfast. All at La Place Salaison. For all your salted meats and ground meat, beef, chicken, pork, and turkey, La Place Salaison. What about cow heel, pork, and chicken? La Place Salaison, La Place Salaison, La Place Salaison. Now for your fish. Head to La Plaza Lezo Grocery. Visit our island-wide locations in Castries, Villefort, Soufre, and Rosalie. So, who needs meat? La Plaza Lezo, where the price is always right. They have meat.
Prime Minister and Minister for National Security Philip Pierre has been repeating his administration's commitment to tackling crime head-on. The groundwork is being laid for the reintroduction of the police K9 units, and efforts are also underway to provide police with additional resources while improving their working conditions. More in this report.
Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre has expressed optimism that the country can see a downward trend in the homicide rate this year. In 2023, a total of 75 homicides were recorded. With just 13 days into 2024, the island has seen 3 murders committed through the use of various weapons.
The homicides in this country, I'm very, very concerned about it. But fact is, for the latter part, the last half of 2023, the percentage in homicide rates decreased substantially when compared to the first half. No comfort. I take no comfort for that. I'm stating a statistical fact that in the second half of 2023, the homicide rate decreased when compared to the first half. The measures that we put in place, these measures are going to be strengthened this year. Hopefully we can continue that downward trend that was seen in the second half of 2023. But it's not good enough. It ought to be better, but I would thank the police for their efforts.
Last year, the Royal St. Lucia Police Force received support in the form of vehicles, training and rehabilitation of various RSLPF facilities to improve their crime-fighting capabilities. The Prime Minister announced that the government plans to continue the support throughout the year to address the inadequacies that have been affecting the force's crime-fighting duties.
And I want to invite you to have a talk sometime on work on the Grocery. The northern headquarters for the police is situated at the Grocery. I was invited to have a talk that at some point. Again, an act of irresponsibility. That was supposed to be built from 2016. That was supposed to be built, not built. Irresponsibility. Then the Vieux-Fort police station, that there was a mold infestation in that police station from since 2020. Let's say 2019 was COVID. Again, no work done there. We're the one who started to do work on that facility. You understand? There's several other police facilities. No work was done. We're going to be repairing them. We're going to be renovating them to ensure that the police have a better environment to work on. On Bordelais, the situation which inherited as far as Bordelais is concerned, you understand, you have to have discussions to find out what was the situation in Bordelais in 2021 when we won elections. So the national security situation is a situation that has many facets. What work happened at Bordelais? What was the condition of Bordelais when we went to government in 2021? These are the things we have to consider.
The Prime Minister also spoke of re-establishing the K9 unit, which was discontinued when his administration took office in 2021. During a press conference on January 4th, Commissioner Cressida Descartes-Pellew spoke of the importance of a K9 unit to the police. During its tenure, the unit had a commendable track record, contributing significantly to the discovery of illegal weapons, ammunition, and drugs.
We had a K9 unit many years ago. For some reason or the other, maybe it was costly to maintain, and we don't have it now. But it's something that is very important, it's significant. And some of the successes we have had in the past is because we have had the assistance of other agencies with the use of the K9 unit. So it is something that we have discussed, and we are working steadily in getting it back in the organization. We have had discussion with other agencies out of St. Lucia in getting the dogs for us, and of course the training for the officers in the organization to get this unit back and running. It's very important. We are serious. We realize the significance of it.
The discontinuation of the K9 unit was attributed to the substantial costs associated with maintaining its operations. Now, while discussions are currently ongoing, this, however, is not a surety of it being re-established, the Prime Minister has indicated.
It's not as simple. You need trainers, you need this. It's not as, I mean, it may sound like very simple, K9 unit, but it has many things, surprisingly, many things you have to go through to get a K9 unit going. But we are working on it, and we'll make an announcement as to when and if we're going to have a K9 unit in St. Lucia. But we continue to seek use of dogs from our friendly neighbors. The French, the Americans assist us.
A review of the city police is also being undertaken. The city constabulary was restructured under the former Alan Shastney administration to the city police, serving under the office of the Castries Constituencies Council. The unit is tasked with maintaining law and order primarily within the city circuit as an adjunct to the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. Complaints, however, have arisen about their operations.
The city police was not a construct of my government. We found it. I've asked the Minister for Local Government to have a professional assessment of city police, which is happening now. So soon as that assessment is done, it will come for us. We'll be able to tell you what we found. You see, I not want to speak without evidence. You see, so the assessment is being done by a professional. When assessment is done, we have a conversation with the city police.
The Prime Minister reiterated the importance of the health and security levy to make resources available for national security initiatives. For the DBS News World, I am Zain Romulus.
In the face of mounting complaints from commuters, the St. Lucia National Council on Public Transportation, the NCOPT, says it is committed to providing a more efficient public transportation service and is taking steps to address issues affecting the sector. One of these issues is the readily available buses at terminals and along routes, mainly during rush hour. NCOPT President Godfrey Ferdinand has disclosed that the discussion regarding public transportation or the transportation sector improvements is continuing. On Thursday, Ferdinand met with the new Chief Transport Officer, Grace Lynn Victorin, to discuss this and other matters of concern to operators.
That's my first meeting with her, and that was to set up a meeting with the General Counsel so that all the present issues that there is in that sector, in traffic. We're talking about the build-up after at the different bus stops, discipline, everything. So let's just hope and pray that this year the fruitful. She is excited about her job. She wants things done, and the persons that are in the present position, like the new PS, the new deputy PS, they work well enough, so we should see some changes in the sector.
The NCOPT's executive will be meeting with the Minister for Transport, Stephenson King, in February to discuss ways to enhance or improve the public transportation sector in St. Lucia. The island is ready to begin the transformation and upgrade of Port Castries into a modern cruise ship facility as the country enters a new chapter in its maritime development. In this report, we get some details on the work to be done by Global Ports Holdings, or GPH, in redefining the luxury travel experience in St. Lucia.
Port facilities in Castries and Soufrière are about to undergo a transformation that will give St. Lucia a competitive edge in the cruise industry. The project is being undertaken by Global Port Holdings on behalf of the St. Lucia Air and Seaports Authority and the government and people of St. Lucia.
They manage approximately 30 ports around the world, and they move in roughly 18 million passengers annually, and that is growing as we speak. We will be collaborating with them, bringing some of their best practices to St. Lucia, as well as exchanging from St. Lucia to them as well, so that we can now improve our throughput of passengers to 1 million plus persons on an annual basis.
The proposed infrastructural works will allow Port Castries to berth the world's largest and most advanced cruise ships.
One of the first things that will be done is improvement of the berthing capacity at Point Seraphim, which is a dedicated cruise berth, to take the largest vessel in operation at this point, which is the Oasis class vessel.
In Castries, the project will involve the construction of a boardwalk along the waterfront, improvements to La Place Carénage and the Vendors Arcade. It will also see the transformation of Bannon's Bay into a modern fishing village and a transportation hub for land and sea-based stores.
It will also allow for St. Lucians to participate, because it does have a very strong collaborative approach to it, whereby players and practitioners in the cruise industry will participate in this whole transformation that we speak to.
The intention is that within 24 months, all of the infrastructural developments should have been complete.
The objective of Global Ports Holding is to develop a facility that will benefit all of St. Lucia, from vendors, farmers and food processors to the creative and transportation sectors.
Understanding how persons can participate and create new enterprises and really develop the country in its entirety.
The port development works in Castries and Soufrière will allow St. Lucia to accommodate more cruise passengers and consequently improve the contributions of the cruise industry to the economic development of the island.
The DBS News World will be right back after these messages.
Selling out the O2 Arena in London.
St. Lucia, are you ready?
Selling out the Forum in Hollywood.
The moment you've been waiting for is finally here.
Now, first Nigerian artist to ever sell out Madison Square Garden.
You've seen this electrifying performance light up your social media feeds. You've watched him dominate the world stage. He's not just an artist, he's a global phenomenon. His music resonates across continents. An award-winning legend. He is a movement, and now he's coming to St. Lucia, the African giant himself, Burna Boy. Burna Boy, live in concert. Mark your calendars, May 3rd, 2024, Burna Boy. Let's be a part of history together. Presented by Utopia Cruise and Festivals, Blazing 99.3, Rhythm 95.5, and O-Trees Incorporated. Burna Boy, live in concert, May 3rd, 2024. Tested by the world, approved by the masses, trusted to deliver an experience like no other.
Cancer has touched the lives of each and every one of us here in St. Lucia. A loved one lost, a colleague, a teacher, a friend diagnosed or currently fighting back. Cancer remains a word not to be spoken out loud. Here's our chance to fight back against cancer. St. Lucia Cancer Society announces the first of its kind in St. Lucia, Relay for Life, at the Vigie Playing Field in Castries, February 4, 2024. Rally your teams to participate in this 6-hour relay against cancer. Come for the education. Come for the togetherness. Come for the fight and remembrance. Cancer does not sleep, and neither do we. Contact the St. Lucia Cancer Society for details.
Want to listen to a radio station that is family friendly? RJLradio.net is the place for positive vibes music that uplifts mind, body, soul, and spirit. RJL Radio. Find us online at RJLradio.net, on Streama.com, liveonlineradio.net, and many more. RJLradio.net. Positive vibes music.
RJL Radio, the positive music station.
Do you need television airtime? Are you spending more than you planned or getting poor results because your ad dollar did not go very far? Advertising with DBS, the #1 station, allows you to set your budget and get targeted airtime to fit your business and your customers. Plus, targeted airtime gets you the most for your advertising dollar. Don't scatter your TV advertising budget. Target your ads. Your customers are watching. Call DBS at 453-2705 and let's talk.
Yes. Sure. Yes. Okay. Yes.
Always refreshing. Rhythm 95.5.
Live up our dreams. I wanna be where that good vibe is. I love that dream.
Always refreshing. Rhythm 94.5.
Back to school shoe shopping. Easy.
Step into the new school year with confidence and style. Discover the perfect back-to-school shoes at Hobby, from sleek high tops to trendy low-top sneakers in black and white. One thing's for sure, we've got the footwear that matches your academic adventures. Our collection blends comfort, durability, and the latest trends to keep you stepping ahead. Don't miss out on the opportunity to rock the hallways with Hobby's fantastic shoe selection. Visit us today and put your best foot forward this upcoming school season. Make back-to-school shopping your hobby with Hobby.
St. Lucia Cancer Society brings Relay for Life to St. Lucia for the first time. Relay for Life is a volunteer-driven community event that celebrates cancer survivors and their caregivers, remembers loved ones lost to cancer, and demands that we all fight back against cancer. Come February 4, World Cancer Day, from 2 to 8 p.m. at the Vichy Playing Field in Castries. Gather your teams of 15 to 20 family members and friends. Let's walk together to symbolize our fight against cancer. Cancer does not sleep, and neither do we. Come be a part of this inaugural Relay for Life. Contact the St. Lucia Cancer Society for registration and more information.
To live in the hearts of the ones we leave behind is not to die. Grieve not, nor speak of me with tears, but laugh and talk of me as if I were beside you there. Televised obituaries on DBS lets you come together to mourn as you say goodbye to those we are sure to meet again. Televised obituaries are aired twice daily on DBS, at peak times after the morning news and the lunchtime news. DBS's televised obituaries offer you closure in your time of sorrow, as we help you celebrate the life of your departed loved one. Visit our studios at VG today or call 453-2705 for more information.
Finally tonight, and well enough in advance of Valentine's Day, zoos in New York and Texas are offering the Love Struck and the Love Lawn the opportunity to buy some unusual Valentine's Day gifts, naming rights for cockroaches. The Bronx Zoo says romantically minded patrons can pay to have a Madagascar hissing cockroach named after their Valentine, with other gift packages including roach socks, stuffed roaches, and a virtual roach encounter. You don't always have the right words, but you can still give them goosebumps. Name a roach for your Valentine, because roaches are forever, the zoo says on its website. Meanwhile, the San Antonio Zoo in Texas is taking a different approach with its Crimea Cockroach fundraiser. The program allows jilted patrons to pay to have a roach, rat, or vegetable named for their ex-lovers before the chosen recipient of the moniker is fed to another zoo animal. Symbolically name a roach, rat, or veggie after your ex or not-so-special someone, and San Antonio Zoo will help squash your past. A true heartbreaker or heartbreak healer by feeding your selection to an animal resident, the zoo's website states. The San Antonio Zoo is also offering a candle bearing the scent of hippo poop as a potential Valentine's Day gift for that special someone. The zoo said poop is the cologne of the hippo world and is used to impress potential mates. The candles made by the Stinky Candle Company are specifically scented to resemble the odor of the dung dropped by Timothy, the zoo's male hippo. And that's your light aside and your news. Thanks for watching. Good evening.
You're watching DBS.